Hello, I want to talk to you all about something. Um, yeah. Um, I've been going through a lot of, crazy things like, here in America, especially where I live in America, Texas. Um, I've been going through a lot of crazy stuff. I mean, a lot of things like made me angry, made me lose it. And and I heard my father told me that I'm always in my room all the time. Hence meaning I'm always in the house all the time. What was the fact that I have money problems. I don't have enough money, and he's helping paying the bills at my house, and he keeps me in the dark on everything, and I don't know what's going on. And and when I chew him out on keeping me in the dark and not tell me anything, he accuses me of being defensive and going on and on and on, and I don't stop, and I'm in my angry mad fits and wherever he says, I think I said this in another video. And he accused me of all kinds of things, and the truth is, he just saying all this stuff just to shut me up and keep me silent. He doesn't want me to say a word. He wants me to be dumb, mute, hold my head down, and don't say a thing. And I can be depressed. I can have I can be a person with no no smile on my face at all. Hold on a second. Anyway, I can be it. Anyway, sorry about that. The light, the interior lights on my car went off. Where was I? Oh yeah. I remember, he silenced me. He doesn't want me to say anything. When I chew him out on what he's doing and want to call him out on what he's doing, he says I'm defensive and I don't, and wherever he said it, I don't want to say anything to. He's saying this. I'm defensive, and and I think that everybody wants to everybody he thinks that everybody's trying to like make me look bad and make me ashamed and want to make me ashamed and all, and he's just saying all that just to shut me up. I can't remember what he says. I mean, he says all kinds of things just to silence me and keep me from calling him out. I'm struggling to call him out on what he's doing, but he just shuts me up, and it's like this. If I don't say anything and just take over, just I don't say anything and just accept what he's doing for me, he's happy, he likes it. But when I call him out and start talking and complaining, and he likes to argue. He'll argue with you because he thinks he knows everything, and he's an old man and he can't barely remember anything. He can't remember anything. Okay, going back to me, being in my room, aka my house all the time. Yeah, because of financial problems, I don't have enough money, and I'm just stuck in the house all the time. So I remember I did this, and this helped me a lot. I got out and I went for a walk. I walked through the neighborhood of where I live to another neighborhood, and I walked all the way to a nearby city that I lived near. And, and I walked to a walked inside, and I walked into a convenience store. Well, actually, before I went to the convenience store, I walked from where I live to this city I live to the city I live in. It's called Liberty City, and and I walked all the way there along a highway. It's not a busy highway, just a 2-lane road, a 2-lane country road. And I walked all the way there, and I walked inside this place, and I wanted to buy some drinks, but I didn't have enough money in my pocket, so I went and asked this cashier, well, actually, I thought I had some money. Actually, I asked this cashier, no, let me start over. I walked in, I was all sweaty and all because it was hot one day. I went in the bathroom there and I wiped all the sweat off my face and cleaned myself up. And I walked out, and I went and looked at the drinks and all, and the cashier there, it was just an old man. So I asked the old man, is he hiring anybody? And he shook his head and smiled and said, no, 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 no. And I noticed he was he was a foreigner. He's from another country. So I asked him, are you from another country? And he said, no, 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 I'm from the United States. So I told him about my travels and the countries I went to. He was this old man. He just had this smile on his face like this. He had this look on his face like he was surprised. And he just shook his head as I talked. He didn't talk much. I just told him about my travels, where I went to. Now I was naming countries that I went to, and he started naming countries that he went to. And I got done talking to the guy, and I went and left. Okay, I walked along this road that ran from the convenience store. It was located at an intersection. This road ran from the intersection where the convenience store was to all the way to the freeway. And along that road, I stopped by a park, and I went and sat down and relaxed. And I just took a break, and then I saw a dog getting up, and saw a dog walking around, running around, and the dog was owned by this old woman. And this old woman told the dog to come to her, and the dog came to her, And after that, I got up and I left the park, and I walked behind this kid who just got out of school. He had a backpack on, and I walked behind him. I didn't walk too close to him. So he went and got in this truck that was parked in this driveway of this house, and the truck drove away. And I walked and walked and walked all the way to the freeway, where there was a big collection of convenience stores and fast food places. Okay, I got on this road and walked along this road, and I ran into a guy who was on this motorized hover. And he was standing on it with his arms folded, and the thing just ran by and was standing on it, very futuristic, very cool. Okay, I walked all the way to the neighborhood that was next to the neighborhood where my house is. Then when I turn off the road to go in this neighborhood, my dad showed up in a car that he rented. And he told me, "Where you been?" I told him I went for a walk. And he said, "Get in the car." And I got in the car immediately. I was like scared and whipped by him. So I got in the car, and he asked me, "Where you been?" And when I started telling him, "Where you been?" And I explained to him where I've been. I just barely said anything. You know, now I got home. My mother started to chew me out. I just ignored her and went to my room. You know, that walk I went on. I mean, it was healthy. It was good for me. Talking to that old guy, and I mean, being relaxed. I mean, being one with yourself, like Winston Wu says. You know, and it was good for me. I started to feel a lot better until my dad showed up and looked for me. I mean, I didn't tell him where I went. Because my dad was just, was very toxic and very crazy. You know, I started to feel better, but when I got home and he told me not to walk around because he's saying that people will like call a cop, racist white people will call the cops on me and saying that they think that I'm gonna break in their homes and get it and try to kidnap their children and steal some out of their homes. And a cop will come by when they call the cops. The cop will put me in the back of a police car and take me to jail and throw me in a prison cell for no reason at all. After that, after I came home and my parents left, they were looking for me because I didn't tell them where I went, and I just want to get away from them. So after that, I started to call up a bunch of Dairy Queens in Canada, and I noticed the Canadians. I called this. I think I said this in a previous video. I called up a Dairy Queen in Victoria. I asked them where they're hiring, and said no, we're not hiring. I mean, it was a guy. He muffled. He was saying it. I said, "Are you hiring?" And I think he said, "We're not hiring." I said, "Thank you." He hung up real quick. And I called another one in Prince George, and and this woman did the same thing, and I called another one somewhere in Canada, and this woman was very nice and very patient, and she wasn't like the other ones. So yeah, I heard some stories about how Canada is from people leaving comments on my Canada sucks videos, and yeah, they'll tell me how bad it is in Canada and all, and I believe them, and they're right, and I see how it is. I watch videos, what goes on in that country, and I don't want to go to that country at all. Well, anyway, going back to me going for a walk and getting out of the house. I mean, that was the most healthiest thing. That was the most healthiest thing for me. I mean, it's healthy for me and it's good for me going for a walk. I wish I can do that all the time, but I can't. I can't do it here. I mean, it's just it's dangerous and it's crazy. I mean, being cooped up in the house is even worse. I mean, and I went right back to that, and add in how my dad and my mom are and my sister. I just lost it, and I did something to my sister that I regret doing, and and my dad claims I'm doing a lot of weird stuff, and and he went behind my back and had me see all those therapists. And those therapists didn't help me with my problems at all. And I solved the problem myself. I solved my problem. And all it is, I just need to get out and walk more. Just walk more. It's good exercise. It's good for my mental health and my health and my physical health. It's good for me. And those therapists and my father and my sister and my mom, they just these people just don't have a clue at all. And it's just crazy, and it just makes no sense to me. I mean, why people in America like think that way, and how sickening it is. Like why would they do this to a human being? I mean, it's just sick. I mean, doing that to a disabled person is even worse. I mean, it's like they're just sick in the head, and like they just don't have a clue. But the problem is, I mean, aside from me exercising, I need to walk more. Just walk around and just talk and socialize. And that's good for your mental health. And my dad just killed all that, and he's taking me to see all these therapists like he's gonna help me. I think it's this. Like I think if I'm ignorant of the world, and just pay attention to stupid stuff on TV and say dumb stuff and talk about cars and lifestyle and politics and all of that. I mean, I guess I'm normal, and just being fake and plastic, I'm normal. But if I get up and walk more, and I'm not into this stuff, I'm considered as a weirdo, and there's something wrong with me. You know, and I remember my dad. You know, every time we went Christmas shopping, buying gifts for everybody, my dad always had to approve of what I buy for people. If it's something that he doesn't like, he'll talk to me and tell and help me search for something for someone for Christmas. You know, he just had this eagle eye and make sure I don't get something that someone doesn't like. Like for instance, okay, I bought my mother Elizabeth Taylor perfume, and I showed this to my father, and my dad said, my mother, your mother won't like this, and he showed me some perfume, women's perfume, in a box, and it had the singer Rihanna's picture on it. And he's telling me that I should get my mother something. I should get my mother this, and he talked about it's down to earth and all. This is down to earth, and this is perfect for it. And I said, well, this is not down to earth. And he told me that women of all ages, they're all the same. He said women are all the same. You can get them anything. And I look at this, and I look at that. I'm saying this like Rihanna perfume. That's for younger women. My mother's an older woman. I mean, my mother's in her 70s. And the Rihanna perfume is for women in their 20s, younger women. I mean, they're different. They're not the same. I mean, a woman in her 20s, she's in her peak. She hasn't hit the wall. She hasn't got in her 30s and hit the wall. My mother hit the wall a long, long, long time ago, and she's an old woman. So I shouldn't be getting her perfume with Rihanna's name on it. I mean, which is a branded perfume with a celebrity's picture on it. I mean, that's not for my mother. And I told my dad, no, I'm not gonna get this. So he decided to let me buy the Elizabeth Taylor perfume for her. I mean, he doesn't have a clue what my mother wants. I mean, he's not all there in the head. I mean, his mind is just completely gone. He does a lot of strange stuff. Yeah, and yeah. So I'm gonna say this. I mean, I have a passport, and I have it. I can denounce my citizenship as an American, I can say this. I, Richard Miles, my name is Richard Miles, by the way. I, Richard Miles, denounce my citizenship as an American, and I'm no longer an American anymore. I just turn in my passport. And I can go overseas or go overseas to another country and live in another country. So let's see. What country should I live in? Okay. Well, I heard from Winston Wu that Russia is a fun country to be in. And but he said that the downside of Russia is Russia has a very high crime rate. I remember I watched one of Winston Wu's videos on his YouTube channel, Happier Abroad, that he had his camera equipment stolen from him, and the police caught the thieves and recovered his camera equipment. And it was these two Russian girls that were laughing at him because he got jacked, he got robbed. You know. That's nothing to laugh about. Being robbed is nothing to laugh about, but they're not bad women, Just saying, And okay, you got other countries, you got Ukraine, you got France, you got the United Kingdom. I heard stories about Portugal, that Portugal had a very high crime rate, so yeah. I'm not brainwashing in this media U.S. propaganda that demonize countries as bad and the United States is great. That's BS. The U.S. is just a crumbling, rundown, crime-ridden, expensive, mental health producing country with paranoid women, crappy paranoid women, independent women who don't need a man, and a bunch of antisocial, cliquish people. And yeah, I know it's one thing. I know something about the U.S. I mean, well, I'm gonna talk about the U.S. I'm gonna talk about the U.S. Then I'm gonna go back to talking about what foreign country should I move to. Okay, the U.S. I know something about the U.S. I notice the old people, the senior citizens, are down to earth and easy to talk to and connect with. I had a lot of a lot of old people talk to me, but not all old people will talk to you. I mean, I remember I tried to talk to this old lady. I mean, she was wearing a t-shirt and a pair of jeans, and I talked to her, and I complimented on the jeans that she's wearing and the shirt that she's wearing that made up the outfit that she's wearing. I mean, she ignored me, hopped in her car, and just drove off. But overall, the senior citizens are easy to talk to. I think that old lady zipped off. I think she was busy, and I think there was somewhere that she needed to go, or she just antisocial. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I had a lot of conversation with older people in America. I went to a Walmart. An old guy said this to me: "How you doing, young man?" And I said, I'm doing fine." And I noticed this. I mean, the older people, you can talk to them, and you can have conversations with them, but you can't have conversations with younger people in their 20s and 30s. I mean, why is that? I mean, maybe it's the fact that the younger people in their 20s and 30s are, they're in groups, they're cliquish, they're antisocial. They don't want to have anything to do with you. They don't want to talk to you. And I noticed this, and I'm comparing that to a country like Russia. in the Ukraine. Okay, it's in reverse. It's the young people in their 20s and 30s. It's the young people who are down to earth and easy to talk to, and they're like the old people in America. Like you can talk to them, but also the older people are mean and grouchy and don't want to talk. That's just shocking. Like, wow. I mean, you know, it's like this. If I create a fake country, I'll take the people. I'll take the foreign young people who are in their 20s and 30s, who are sociable and talkable and easy to talk to, with the older people in America who are easy to talk to and are talkable, and put them all in that country. I mean, that will be a country that I would love to live in. I start to, yeah, and you be in that country, you start to feel good about yourself. You start to feel better about yourself. I mean, you won't be depressed, alienated, and left out, and just ignored, and everything. Yeah, everything. I mean, conversations with strangers won't be business related, and people won't talk to you just to get something. People won't talk to you just to get something out of you. That'd be a country I would love to live in. Okay, going back to what country I want to live in. Okay, you got Russia, you got the Ukraine, you got France, United, you got the United Kingdom, Spain, Portugal. I think there's some countries. This is just countries in Europe. I think I missed a lot. The Scandinavian countries, I'm staying away from them because they're antisocial. They don't like to talk at all. So I'm staying away from the Scandinavian countries. Yeah, I said all this in a previous video. I think you guys already heard this. I'm gonna try to be different in this video. Okay, okay, countries in Europe. Okay, Asian countries. Okay, China, Thailand. Um, Heard some good stories about those countries. I mean, and it's a good thing. Those countries are cheaper. I mean, you pay less. You pay less for things. I mean, you don't pay like a ton of money like you do here, like because everything is so expensive here. Uh, yeah. Yeah. Um. Yeah. 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 I think I think it'd be I think it'd be best. Let's see. Yeah. You got China, Thailand. Then you got Australia, New Zealand. Um. Yeah, New Zealand. They're still reeling from that mass shooting in Christchurch, and the prime minister is gonna do some reconstructing of the gun laws there. I hope New Zealand don't become a United States 2.0. I hope they don't. I had a conversation with my good friend Captain Brandon Horror Lover about this. Um, yeah, about New Zealand. He told me I hope New Zealand doesn't be North Americanized. And yeah, I just hope. I just hope they don't become like the United States. Cause I heard some, yeah, cause it seemed like a good country along with Australia. Um, yeah, it seemed like a good country along with Australia. I mean, I really want to go to Australia. I mean, that's a country I'm just dying to go to. I mean, I asked my dad, I mean, do you want to go to Australia? And he told me this: I haven't lost anything there. I'm not going there. So, yeah, he also told me a lot of crazy things about countries he went to when he was in the military. He just bashing these countries left and right. Um, Blah propaganda. And he says something stupid about Canada. He said that Canada is next to the United States, and when I was in Montana, you can pick up Canadian radio stations. So like, what they got to do with anything? Like, I don't care about picking up Canadian radio stations in Montana. And he said some bad things about Hawaii. Said Hawaii's racist and it's a dump or something like this. And he basically just hate everything, because he was in the military. And you know what I think that, he just don't like to travel, and plus, he's antisocial. He doesn't like to talk to people. Remember we got on this cruise ship in in Northern Europe, and oh, hold on a second. I'm in my car. I mean, there's a car. I think there's a car that's getting ready to leave. There was a cop coming by here just a while ago. Um, I didn't see, I saw the takedown lights and everything. I didn't know he was like, well, actually, where I'm at Driller Park in Kilgore, Texas, is a park that is a park that has a RV park and a ballpark where baseball games are held. It's actually straddling a county line between two counties. So you got two counties. You got Gregg County and Rusk County. I'm in the Rusk County part. That's where I'm at. Anyway, 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 that cop that came by, I don't know if he was a Kilgore police officer or a state trooper of the Texas Highway Patrol, so I don't know. You know. Anyway, yeah, anyway, where was I? Okay, where was I? Yeah, my dad's antisocial. I remember we were on a cruise ship in Northern Europe, and they had this thing where everybody on the ship who was boarding the ship went shook hands with each other and met each other, and he didn't want to do it. And he talked about, oh, I didn't want to do that. Well, and I would, yeah, I wanted to do that, but I was so tired from that flight. I mean, get the jet lag and all. Uh, I was just dead tired. He just didn't want to meet anybody, period. And I met some foreigners on that ship, and they were friendly, they were cool. I met a girl who liked me, who giggled when I had some big had a lot of food in my mouth, when I was eating, made me feel like I was 11 years old again. It was weird. I mean, I ain't felt like that in a long time. I mean, I ain't gonna feel like that here. I ain't gonna feel like that in the U.S. Matrix prison. Um, yeah. Okay, so we'll see what country I want to live in. You know what? I think I'll choose France because I kind of like France. And I want to learn how to speak French. I speak a little French. I don't speak a lot. The only French words I know is like merci, meaning thanks, and au revoir, meaning bye. So that's all I know. So yeah. And also drink Perrier sparkling mineral water. Um, that's French water from south of France. This stuff is good for you. You know, I'd rather drink that than drink some soda that has like tons and tons and tons of calories and sugar in it. If you drink that stuff will make you fat. Yeah. Yeah, and also speaking of fat, and I noticed that like people have visceral fat, and it gets worse on them, it makes them fat if they don't exercise, they don't walk or exercise, they gain weight from that. But this is what I know. I mean, if you eat a lot if you eat a lot of processed foods, a lot of like fried foods, foods that have a lot of sugar, there's a lot of sugar, foods that are high in fat, high in cholesterol, um, you're gonna gain weight, you're gonna get fat, you're gonna have health problems. You might get heart disease, you might get a heart attack because you got all this fat on you. And that's why you see all these old guys. Some of these old guys that have big fat bellies that stick out. I mean, I think that's from what they. I think they're from eating all that processed foods, all the foods that have a lot of sugar, foods that are high in fat, high in cholesterol, and they just eat that, and they don't eat. I think they don't eat fruits and vegetables, and they don't exercise. And my dad, he's one of them. But not all old guys are like that. Like there's some old guys that are thin, really thin. And I notice that because they have a good diet. And there's some old women who are thin. Um, and there's Inga. The nurse from New Zealand. Did I see her before I see my doctor? She's thin. She's old. She's thin, but I don't know. I think old people are thin. I think they got a very good diet. I think they eat right, they eat healthy. I think they watch what they eat. I don't know. I don't know. It's like this. It's good to be old and thin than old and fat, or it's good to be young and thin than young and fat. Yeah. I think you just watch what you eat and you'll be healthy. But here in America, it's just hard because you're just surrounded by all this, all this, all this food that gives people health problems and make them gain weight. Yeah. Um. Health. mm, Yeah, excuse me. I was getting ready to cough. Yeah, but yeah, um, yeah, yeah, you just surrounded by all this food that's bad for you, and I mean, and trying to eat healthy in America is very complicated and hard, and it is, But I think I'm raising the gas. I'm not raising. I think raising the tax on junk food and lowering the tax for healthier foods. I think that be. I think that. I think you'll. I think you'll see that. I think if that happens, I mean, the United States will crack and destroy and win the battle against the bulge. But that's not gonna happen because people in America who like junk food, they'll go crazy and they'll just lose it in their heads, just explode if the tax for junk food is raised and tax for healthier food is lowered. I'm for that. I'm for it, and that's a good idea. You know, it's like this. If you eat less junk food like cookies and processed food. If you eat less of that and more healthier foods, eat more fruits and vegetables, and eat more healthier foods that are good for you. I mean, yeah, you have overall good health. But I remember a video that Igor the Russian did. He talked about junk food. I mean, fast food doesn't have to be junk food. I kind of agree with him. I think, yeah, yeah, junk. Fast food. Food that you get at fast food places. It doesn't have to be junk. It can be healthy. Speaking of fast food, I noticed in those and I noticed um a burger. I noticed a McDonald's in Spain. No, I noticed the McDonald's or Burger Kings in Spain. Um, they serve beer with burgers and fries. I mean, the fries are potato wedges, and you can drink beer and eat a burger and potato wedges, which is crazy. I mean, I saw McDonald's at a mall in Hamburg, Germany, but I was interested in the American crap. I was just interested in the in the food, the food and the culture in that country. Yeah, McDonald's and yeah, I also saw a Burger King in France. I saw, I didn't care for it. All I cared about it was the food. What care about the French food, the real food there. You know, yeah, I think exporting like fast food, unhealthy fast foods that make people sick and overweight in America and bringing it overseas and affecting people in foreign countries isn't a good thing. You know, and and I noticed something. Hmm, I know something. Uh, I remember Winston Wu talked about um foreign people coming to America, and he said that foreign people who come to America, they didn't come here for the freedom and from the freedom garbage that America like boast about, freedom and all, and he said they just come here just to go to school and get a job, work and make money and leave. And yeah, I kind of agree with him. Some stay here, but some leave. You know, I don't know what those people think. This is what I think. I think it's a bad idea for them to come here. I think they would just be better off, going to other countries, going to other countries than the United States, because I feel that the United States is not a great country for any foreigner to go to. And that's what I think. I mean, yeah. I think some were brainwashed by the propaganda, um from a BS commercial on a radio station, from where they live. Or some of them think that America is like what they saw in the movies. It's funny. I think my sister ran to someone from another country, and they think that the United States is like the Little House on the Prairie. You go to like the Midwest. They think America's is like the Little House on the Prairie. And it's not like that. But if they want to see that, they can go. They can go visit the Amish people. The Amish, they don't believe in television or any modern things that we have. Yeah, they can go see them. And also they go to national parks. And also foreigners go to national parks. And and they don't go near the big cities at all. So yeah. So yeah, I mean, national parks. I mean, there's the only sane, decent places you can go to get away from all the crap in your life. Yeah, get away from the prison. Um, yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember I watched the video from Doc G from his channel, Doc G07. He was originally known as Damn This Place '07, but he changed it to Doc G07. And you know what? I subbed to him, and he did a video about, women women complaining about they getting paid less than men. And he talked about giving the stats that women men men go through death, suicide, and they go through struggling, grueling jobs, and they contract black lung and all kinds of health risks that puts a black cloud over their health and their life. I mean, yeah, cause yeah, men go through tough, grueling stuff than women, and then women talk about they get paid less here because, well, they do maternity leave, and they have these cinchy jobs that don't pay them a lot. And yeah, they don't do a whole lot. They don't do the grueling, tough jobs that men do. I can't. It's like this. I mean, I think women in America, I think, who complaining about they get paid less. I mean, let them go through what men go through. I mean, see what men go through. Yeah, I think they'll change their minds, or they probably don't care. They just don't want to. They just want out of it. You know, I don't care for that. It's just this. It was like this. I remember a video he did. He talked about there's women from foreign countries who were killed to get the jobs that the women here in America complain and hate and say that they're getting paid less on. And yeah. So yeah, I think these women need to just be quiet and just sit down and stop complaining, because they need to look and see, they need to look around and see why they get paid less, see the things that they do that make them be paid less. But they want to bring them, but they want to bash men, and they want to bash men and say that men make more than them, and ridiculous. Yeah. I think none of that wouldn't exist in my version from America, from my Possessed America video. That won't exist at all. Ooh, yeah. Yeah. So I think that's about it. Yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, finally got a new computer. Yeah, can't upload videos on that. So I gotta do it on a laptop. So yeah, I'm probably gonna find out how to upload videos on that computer. Well, my new computer is a desktop computer, so I'm gonna find out how I could upload videos on it. And also, I really want to get into Facebook and Twitter. Try to start Facebook account or a Twitter account, so I can communicate with people. Then to communicate with people on in the comment sections on my YouTube channel. Because the only thing I know, because try to get my sister to teach me this, but she claims that I forget, and she just confusing me, and she just doesn't know what she's talking about, and she doesn't care. I'm talking to her because she's so tech savvy, but she doesn't know what she's doing, doesn't know what she's talking about. So I probably gotta figure this out on my own. Yeah. Yeah. Um. You know what? I'm just gonna talk in the dark. you know. You guys saw what I look like, so yeah. Let's say this. Yeah, I think France would be a good country for me to live in. Their healthcare system is number one in the world. I mean, they got free college tuition, free daycare. If you get sick on a job, you get paid vacation time, so you get paid by your employer in the government. And you get 100% pay through this. I probably, I think I said this. I think I said this in my Possessed America video. I probably said that. I'll probably add that into add into my version of America. You know. Yeah. Yeah, and they're drowning, and they're gonna be drowning in taxes through all of this, and that's a good thing. Yeah, and I went to France. I didn't see an overweight person. I didn't see no fat person in sight at all. Everybody I saw was thin. No fat people at all. And that's a good thing. You know, there's some, I know, some people from the United Kingdom told me that France, England, and France is overrun by Muslims. You know, I hear a lot of crazy things from Canadians who leave comments on my why living in Canada sucks videos. They just say a lot of crazy stuff like Crumlin airports and Canada has anti-speech laws and all kinds of stuff, all kinds of stuff. I don't want to stop just commenting on these people because they just drop comments and they just don't want to talk to you at all. So I'm not gonna wait. I'm not gonna bother. The only people I want to talk to is Captain Brandon Horror Lover and Martel the Cool, who's one of my subs. So that's basically just who I'm gonna talk. Just basically who I'm gonna talk to. Yeah. Well, I think that's about it. It's a Friday night. I'm in my car. I'm parked at in an RV park at a place called Driller Park, which is located in two counties. I mean, Gregg County and Rusk County. I'm in the Rusk County part, so that's where I'm at. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here and head home. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I want to give a big shout out to Doc G for making that amazing video about women getting paid less and men going through danger on a job. Give a shout out to my good friend Captain Brandon Horror Lover. A shout out to Martel the Cool. Winston Wu. Igor the Russian. So we give a shout out to those guys. Igor the Russian, he's happy now. He's in Russia now. He doesn't live in the United States anymore. He left because of how toxic and loop-sided and messed up the country is. That's good for him. He's happy. He's in a better place, and I'm happy for him. I wish I was him. I mean, I'll go from miserable to being happy again. And I won't be stuck in a room at a house. I can get out and walk more every day and talk to people and form friendships. Might get a girlfriend. So yeah. See, I'm gonna get out of here. Okay, I'm gonna get out of here, and before I end this video, I'm gonna say this: if you like the video, like the video. If you dislike the video, dislike the video. and subscribe. This is the new Manchester saying this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. And bye from Driller Park in Kilgore, Texas. See you later.